One of the most difficult days in the life of the Prophet ﷺ is Uhud, the battle where the Prophet ﷺ lost his beloved uncle Hamza, one of his best friends Mus'ab, and so many more beautiful companions who gave their lives, their families, their children to show their devotion for the beloved of Allah, the Prophet ﷺ. Painful moment. He was hurt, injured, fainted. The Sahaba heard that the Prophet ﷺ was martyred, na'udhu billah, and they seek to see him, and many of them gave their life trying to defend him. In this moment, Sa'ad ibn Waqqas radiallahu anhu depicts a very unique situation. He says, on the day of Uhud, when everyone had dispersed, people ran away. People were worried. People didn't know what was going to happen next. The rumor was the Prophet had died. We were all scared. But I saw a person on the right of the Prophet ﷺ, and I saw someone on the left of the Prophet ﷺ. They were not people that I recognized. Because Sa'ad ibn Waqqas knew Medina. He knew all of his companions. These were two different individuals that he had never seen, and they were wearing bright white clothes. And he knew from the moment. And then he investigates the situation. It was Jibril and Mikaeel standing there tall. What the Prophet ﷺ, that's what the Prophet ﷺ said. I have two supporters in the heavens and I have two supporters on earth. Sometimes the heaven supporters have to come down to earth when there's a demand and there's a need to support Muhammad ﷺ. Jibril and Mikaeel were standing on the right and the left to make sure that the Prophet of Allah was protected. And a lot of times we may assume that the angels could have just swung and throw their wing right or left and people would get destroyed. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see the dedication, the devotion, the sacrifice of the people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بُشْرًا. These angels are just there to make you happy, to support you. Sometimes they don't need to fight. But the Prophet ﷺ is assured, even though his companions are suffering, they're losing, they've lost lives, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent his two powerful angels to support the Prophet on his right and left. But just imagine what Sa'ad ibn Waqqas is going through. He sees everyone, their bodies are on the floor, they're mutilated, people are running away, blood flowing and dripping in the valley of Uhud. And there's these two people, Jibril and Mikaeel, on the right and the left of the Prophet ﷺ. In the most difficult situations, in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, Jibril made a point. He was going to be there. He was going to support him. And that's how a friend is recognized. When you need them the most, they're there for you. They support you. And when they're absent, you miss them. And when they're with you, you appreciate them. And Jibril is always appreciated. And you will notice this relationship as it continues. When someone's around you in difficult times, you start to cherish them even more. And that's how the Prophet ﷺ appreciated Jibril, because he was there always, especially in difficult moments.